What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hardtail Party. Today we are opening up, taking a first look at the new 2020 Salsa Timberjack. I got little Dusty, my helper, here. What color do you think it's gonna be? What is it? It's a bike. Yes. That's a seat post shaped box. Ooh. Ooh, this has some sweet tires. WTB Vigilante 2.8. I went for the 27.5 build because I love plus tires on hardtails. A lot of bikes are coming with 29 by 2.6 and I still prefer 27.5 by 2.8. There's not a whole lot to build. Oh, awesome. It's got a seat bag. That is cool. I have never seen that on a stock build. Sweet. Kind of a midnight blue metallic color. Wow, there's so much clearance for tires in the back. Oh, cool. We got the little red on it. All right, let's throw this in there. Not square, it's not round. Kind of a trapezoid shape. I've been seeing that on a lot of different bikes, like the Orbeas and stuff lately. All right. So this year Salsa decided to make the Timberjack more of a high-end bike, and they introduced the rangefinder for a more budget-friendly bike. I'm kind of bummed by this because the Timberjack, you used to be able to get a great frame with okay components for a really cheap price. Now the price to entry is a little bit higher and the rangefinder doesn't have the same geometry as this. Last time I looked, the geo charts on this was almost identical to a Santa Cruz Chameleon, but since it doesn't use an integrated headset, you could run an angle set on this, get it 2 degrees slacker and get a 65-degree head angle. That'd be pretty cool. Let's take this apart and see what it's all about. Wow, I think it even comes with a water bottle cage. This is pretty cool. Now, normally you'll buy these from a shop, not direct from Salsa. Like, I get my review bikes direct from the manufacturer. So you might get something slightly different. This is the XT build. And I went with a size medium, and I sized my bikes based off of the reach measurement. Woo, that looks cool. That pops. Looks good, huh? You tell the camera all about it. Usually, on an XT build, the only XT thing is the derailleur, but we'll see. There's an XT 12-speed derailleur. Ooh! Cool, we have internal cable routing for the derailleur. It pops out of the frame here. Bummer, internal cable routing for the brake as well. I guess function follows form. A lot of people love the look of internal cable routing, but I'd rather be able to swap brakes without having to bleed them. But that's just personal preference. You may prefer a cleaner looking hidden brake line. Fishing shifter cables and droppers is not so big a deal, but fishing hydraulic lines where you have to disconnect it, let all the fluid out, fish it through, reconnect it, then re-bleed it. I mean, bleeding's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's way easier to just have externally routed stuff, especially on a hardtail, but that's just my preference. All right, this is a sharp looking color, I like it. We have a lot of Salsa branded parts on here, which is how a lot of companies save money for the budget end builds. For the lower end ones, is you get a Salsa stem, you get Salsa handlebars, you get little seat clamps, cranks, axles, that sort of thing. Now the Salsa does have adjustable dropouts, so you can run it single speed. You can also run it geared, but you can also change the chainstay length on here. And it's got a nice short chainstay length, which I like. These are MT610 cranks, 175s. That's interesting. I've been seeing 170 spec lately. We'll see how this feels if we get a lot of pedal strikes with the 175 cranks or not. Obviously this isn't a review, I'm just unboxing it and showing you my first initial impressions of it as I unbox it and kind of what I noticed. Sometimes these little details don't make it into the review, so it's cool to see. We got a water bottle mount under here. Interesting how the frame slopes in there. This is an aluminum frame. And there are no seat stay or chain stay bridges. The bridge is the metal part that goes across them. That usually stiffens things up. So I have hope that this won't be super stiff and beat me up. We'll see. Aluminum, you never know. We got a RockShox Sector on here. We've got Shimano single piston brake in the front and a single in the rear. I always love to see 4 piston if possible in the front, but disc brakes are getting pretty dang good. The derailleur hanger is aluminum here. That's okay, it's a replaceable piece. It's a pretty big piece because it's part of this dropout. But if you do bend it, it'll only bend back into place so many times, which is fine. We're seeing a lot of aluminum derailleur hangers. This, to me, competes the most with the Santa Cruz Chameleon, and it's far cheaper, so this will be interesting to see. All right. This crank system looks like it used to be a 2x and they fit a 1x on it. I don't think it is, it just looks that way. Kind of interesting. Cool fact, these don't have tubes in them, which is cool. It's about time we see these shipped without tubes, because I would always just pull the tube out and make them tubeless anyway. The tire's already seated. All I need to do is put my sealant in and air it up. Mom's out on a ride, so the two of us are tackling this together. Can you give me a hand here? Good, very good. This is a 35 mil stem, cool to see. We have an XT shifter, good job, Salsa. Too many bikes I've been getting lately are the XT build and they have SLX shifters. So the only thing XT is this derailleur. I feel like the shifter is more important to be nice than the derailleur. So good job, Salsa. Props to you for doing that. Most people will never look and see what their shifter is, but that makes a huge difference. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd rather have an XT shifter with an SLX derailleur than the other way around. It's interesting, everything in the front triangle is routed internally, all the cables, and everything on the back triangle is external. Which makes sense since it's aluminum. It's really, I mean, these usually don't connect, so you can't really pass it through there very easily. You could put it back internal and then pop it back out, which kind of seems like a pain to me. Nice, we got WTB Volt saddle. I like that saddle. Ranger 2.8 rear tires. We got a WTB Vigilante 2.8. That is gonna be sweet. A nice aggressive front tire. I like it when they do that, when they don't just spec the same tire front and rear. I think this is meant to be a trail bike that's ridden fairly aggressively, so thank you for specing it with an aggressive front tire. I like that rear tire. They wear a little bit quick, but they're fantastic tires. Got center lock rotors. That'll be fine for most people. Most people never remove their rotors, especially on the trail. So when I pumped this up, all I did was put air in the positive chamber. It needs to transfer to the negative chamber to balance out. So even though it's at 90 psi, when I push it down, it's going to pass that valve, dump some of that 90 psi into the negative, and lower this to more like 75 psi. So basically, when you're setting pressure, you set it, cycle it 10 times, check it again, cycle it 10 times. Do that a few times until you get the right pressure readings. Okay, this is looking like a bike. That's a cool color. That pops nice. I like it. Okay, pump it. Good job. Thanks for helping. Pump, pump, pump. I think this is going to be great with the 2.8s, and these look like some fun, aggressive tires. I use the Orange Seal Endurance Sealant. So I just need to pop the sealant in, the bead's already set. Pop sealant in, add air, and we're good to go. I carry this thing with me on the trail too. I've always got a full bottle of sealant. If anything should happen, I can top it off. Yeah, pump that thing up. Good job. This has SLX hubs, which are almost silent. Yeah, that's the brake. And this is the shifter. I'm glad they went with the XT shifter because it's got the double shift up feature. SLX does not have that. All in all, this is spec'd really well for the price of this bike. All right, bike's all put together. Let's point out some cool things about this. We got genuine Shimano cranks. They're not house brand cranks. We've got Shimano hydraulic discs front and rear. 2.8 WTB Rangers in the back. 2.8 WTB Vigilante in the front. WTB STI wheels. They say I-40. That's a perfect internal width for plus tires. I'm glad they went wide enough there. We got a nice dropper, cool little tool bag on the seat. We've got a 180 front rotor and a 160 rear. Unfortunately, these are the rotors that require resin pads only, so you're not going to be able to run metallic pads on them. You're going to have to swap the rotors out for that. Most people won't care, but I always like upgradability. Some cool stuff. This has internal cable routing. Everything goes into the frame here, exits here and up here, and then it's all external in the back. We've got 2 water bottle mounts here. We got another one down here. We've got a threaded bottom bracket. There are no ISCG tabs for a bash guard, but MRP makes a solution that you can use for that. XT 12-speed rear derailleur, XT 12-speed shifter, which is great. Salsa branded stem and bars, and WTB Volt saddle. I'm not sure who makes this dropper. I don't know. A couple other cool details. I like that the seat stays don't have a big bridge across there. You've got 175 mil cranks, which is a little less common these days. That used to be what everything came with. As bottom brackets have gotten lower, we've usually shortened up our cranks. I'll be curious to see if those hit. No chainstay bridge either, which I like. I had that on my Chameleon and I loved it because it would allow the rear end to move a little more. And on aluminum frames, it's easy to build a frame that's far too stiff. Cool that it has adjustable dropouts, so you can run single speed, or you can just simply adjust your chainstay if you want a longer chainstay. Longer chainstays do better at high speeds and corner a little bit better. Shorter chainstays are more playful, they're easier to manual, bunny hop, and stuff like that. In this price point, we've got some pretty cool stuff going on. I want to run one more test here. Let's see if the seat post can go all the way down before it hits a water bottle boss, or yes, that will go all the way down, which is wonderful to me because I have short legs. Forgot to weigh it. All right, now this is with my pedals, with this little seat bag, and with the water bottle holder. Let's see what we're at. Right around 31 pounds. Now some of you are saying, that's crazy, that's a hardtail, 31 pounds? My Enduro bike weighs less than that. But I'll bet your Enduro bike wasn't under $2,000 complete. I'll bet your frame on your Enduro bike costs more than this entire bike. And that's pretty par for the course for bikes around this price range. I think it's a great looking bike and it's well spec'd for the price. I've been reviewing a lot of other bikes in this price range and I'm really happy with the parts that they put on this. You agree? Pretty cool, huh? I've thrown my leg over a couple of Salsa Timberjacks at bike shops, but never really had one on the trail. I'm excited to put this thing through its paces and share with you my thoughts. So stay tuned as I review this bike. If you haven't already, check out some of my other reviews on hardtails that I've done. You know, a lot of people have ridden 1 or 2 hardtails, but I've ridden quite a few and I'm able to compare a lot. So if you have any questions, post up in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're notified when I do release the review video of this bike. Thanks for watching. There's a party in the mountains and you're invited. Say bye. Oh, you blow 'em kisses. Let's get on the trail. Is that what you're saying? Let's do it. Do it.